The room was quiet in the way it gets when the credits roll and you don't know what to do next. Like, do I get up? Do I talk? Or do I just sit there? I wasn't sure what I wanted to happen next, or even if I wanted anything to happen at all. And then we kissed. Well, that's at least the name of the podcast.
Julia and a guy sitting in a tree. Kissing.
Hi, I'm Julia, and you're listening to And Then We Kissed, a podcast on the funny, the confusing, and the unforgettable stories behind my kiss list. And I am here, joined today by Sophie.
Hello.
So last week we had Flo on the podcast, and today we have the other third of our trio and the second regular guest. You're going to hear her voice a couple of more times.
Yes, you will, unfortunately.
Sure, unfortunately. Anyway, let's start with our Sophie meet and greet with the important first question. Have we kissed?
We did, and I'm actually contemplating getting my iconic list number tattooed.
Oh my god, I actually completely forgot about that. We actually could probably do a whole episode just about that, but that is a story for another time.
Yeah, let's maybe start with how we even met each other.
True, the important part. So we actually met a while back on this like German app that is known for trying to find roommates. I had a room free in the apartment, and then she eventually moved in.
Yeah, I just moved to the city actually, and yeah, we spent a lot of time together, obviously, because we live together and we see each other every day. Yeah, and then I joined Julia's and Flo's hangouts. And that's how we three became friends and how that iconic trio was formed.
The iconic trio, indeed. And I mean, our group chat has seen so many of my dating stories. And you've actually met a lot of the guys, even if you don't want to meet them, just because we live together. What did you say?
Terrible times.
Terrible times. Sophie actually hates meeting them. She's okay that I bring them over, but she really does her best to avoid them. And you can always count on her commentary to show up in the group chat, like if she doesn't like their shoes or whatever.
You picked that example from the one time I actually did like his shoes, and I sent a photo in the group chat because they were kind of cute. And after
I'm pretty sure one time you commented that their shoes were enormous.
That's true.
We're getting off topic.
Yeah, and if I'm home, you also either run down my door and hammer it down, or we discuss it the next day over breakfast.
You guys are really starting to understand why she's a regular on the podcast. She basically lived through all of them. She's one of my best witnesses.
I'm gonna pick those motherfuckers apart. Who are we talking about today, by the way? Who's first? Who's my first victim?
So we're actually going to talk about number 90 today. He's not going to be a victim, though.
You mean Lama?
I do mean Lama.
I've been waiting for this one.
Yeah, because, well, see guys, we actually have this major discussion regarding him, and we've put it on hold just to discuss it here on the podcast.
It's about time.
So before we jump into it, we should probably provide more context. This is a story about how messy consent can feel, about being human in the middle of it, and about wishing we had both spoken up sooner. On that note, this episode touches on the nuances of consent. It's not a heavy or traumatic story. It's actually a pretty fun one, but if that topic feels triggering for you, it might be the best to skip this one, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Again, a quick reminder, we're not trying to make anyone out as the bad guy. There is no right or wrong. We only have my side of the story and how I remember it. As always, details have been changed to protect the privacy of everyone involved, and we're also using a nickname to refer to him.
Yep, but before we jump in, can I actually open my fun little drink?
I mean, if you tell us first what you actually got, and if you're new here, I've decided that for talks like these, we all need like a fun little drink. And in the beginning, we kind of use it as this like quick moment for small talk and settling into the session. So tell us, what did you bring today?
I got a strawberry and cream soda. The can kind of matches my outfit with its pink.
Yeah, because she's wearing these pink shorts and she has like pink colored details in her.
Yeah, we're gonna try that today.
Okay, let's go.
ASMR.
Well, for my part, I got this alcohol-free Prosecco, and I just mixed it with some sugar syrup. And I'm calling it a spritz. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm never getting that alcohol-free Prosecco again. This tastes horrible. Okay, enough about that. Let's get into the memories regarding love. So all of this happened, like to provide some context of all of this. This was in a particular week where I was horny. I'm just gonna spell it out for you. I'm going to be extremely direct.
Be honest, queen.
Speak your truth. But I was horny and I was feeling very extroverted, and I just had a craving to meet someone. So I remember that I was swiping on Tinder, and we were actually discussing this in the group chat. We call the group chat Casanovas for reference. And I was like typing into Casanovas like, okay, this guy is cool, whatever, but he doesn't have time this weekend. And it just went on and on with like all kinds of guys. Sunday rolled around, and Sundays at that point in my time really was like a day where that was just my date day.
True.
That really was just the day where people were for sure coming over.
No matter what.
No matter what, there was gonna be a guy in my bed.
It's true.
It really is true, especially because Sophie was going over to Flo's to hang out with him. They had their crash out day.
Hell yeah.
Is that what you guys called it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where they would just sit in front of the TV, watch SpongeBob, and just stop thinking.
Good fucking times.
Tried it once, absolutely hated it. So date day it was.
Yeah, she fucked, we watched SpongeBob.
Essentially. Although I will say, when I woke up that day, even though I had been quite horny this entire week, I was not feeling that horny that day, but I still wanted to like cuddle with someone. So I matched with this guy on a dating app that we all know and love, and
We don't love it, but sure.
okay, I matched with this guy on a dating app that we all know. And I essentially immediately am like, hey, do you want to come over? He said, okay, what am I coming over for? Very valid question.
Fair.
And I said, I just want someone to like watch Netflix with. And I had specified, I know this sounds like a Netflix and chill situation, but I do not mean that. I literally just mean come over, we watch Netflix, we cuddle, and that's basically it.
Setting up boundaries from the start, setting expectations.
Exactly. And he said, sounds good, he's coming over. I was in the middle of hanging up pictures on the wall, as you do. So he rings the doorbell. I'm alone in my house. I open the door. Mind you, if you're like listening to this, be smarter than I was and don't let a stranger into your house when you are alone in the flat chair.
Good idea. Good idea, Julia. Glad you know this.
I know it now. Mind you, nothing bad like really happened, but still, I know it now. I will say I usually only have guys over when I know that at least one of my roommates is at home, just because it's like a safety precaution.
But sometimes that's just not possible.
Sometimes we just say fuck it
Yeah.
and put our lives on the line.
For the thrill.
Some people go skydiving.
Julia invites strange man. Which one's more dangerous?
Yeah, so he rings the doorbell. I open the door, and because we live a couple of flights up, I kind of just leave the door open and I continue hanging up the pictures. Mind you, I'm in my usual attire at the time. It was like a warmer day, so I'm like in a thong and like a crop top. You know, like perfect way to greet someone. I let him come into the house while I'm in my room, and then I kind of hear that he has arrived. He's like taking off his shoes, and I go and meet him. He seems a bit confused, but it's fine. I like confusing men, I guess. And I immediately take him to my room and I'm like, okay, right, I need your help putting up these pictures.
Which is the way we do things. Inviting men over to do shit for us.
This is the way, honestly.
I mean, sure, feminism and all, but like, exploit men. Do it for fun.
This is obviously a joke. Do not exploit men.
Free labor. I mean, shit. I mean,
sometimes with Sophie,
be respectful.
Sometimes with Sophie, I always have to like put out a disclaimer that she makes jokes, but they sound like she's trying to tell people to commit arson or so.
But honestly, anyone who doesn't get the joke, like, come on.
Okay, anyway.
Anyways, the guy.
Let's get back to Lama. Okay, we have hung up the pictures. We get into bed. At the time I had a TV at the end of my bed and we like lay next to each other. I put on a episode of Black Mirror and we just settle into watching it. I felt quite comfortable next to him, you know, like it was like a longer episode, maybe 90 minutes or so, and we like gradually progressed into cuddling a bit more. I think at one point he took off his jeans.
It was the first time you met him, right?
The first and only time. Yeah. We like he gradually progresses into taking off his jeans because again it was quite hot and it was more comfortable that way. I didn't mind, it was all good. And he did ask if it was fine. Mind you, I did not ask if I could just be around him in a thong. Maybe I should have. We're not talking about that right now.
Yeah, you're also at home and he could have asked if you could put on.
We do discuss like red flags and stuff at the end.
Right.
Yeah. So we're watching it. Sometimes I can be a little clueless when it comes to watching things.
Yeah.
So I'm asking the most stupid questions, like, where the fuck did he come from? And he was actually really patient and kind and like explaining it to me, even though he was watching it for the first time as well. But people can be a lot quicker to pick up on like movie cues than I can. So I really appreciated that. Like I said, I did feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, the man did smoke and he did smell of smoke. I didn't like that, but whatever. So we're cuddling. It's nice. And then the credits roll and it's done over, right? And we're just kind of laying there like, okay, what now? And it's that weird silence. I didn't really know what to do. Do I get up? Do I talk? Do I sit up? And I could feel that there was tension and that something might happen. But I wasn't even sure if I wanted anything to happen.
I think I would have just put on another episode because it's a show. So you wouldn't have to pick out something new.
Yeah, and I think with any other series I might have done that. But because it was Black Mirror and because it was such a long episode,
Yeah.
we both kind of just felt like off, you know?
Yeah, it's also kind of nerve-wracking, the show. So
It really does take a toll on you. You have to digest a lot. And I think because I had to digest a lot, I was still like in that moment of like, okay, what the fuck did we just saw kind of.
yeah.
I know that he was digesting it too. I for sure was just not certain what I wanted to happen. All of those thoughts were happening in 30 seconds. And then we kissed.
You actually did. It's not just the name of the podcast.
For once, I actually did say the truth in the beginning. I don't always. He kissed me. I remember feeling a lot of feelings.
Julia type shit. Feeling all the feelings.
Feeling all the feelings. The first thing I remember was that his beard was really scratchy.
I love beard.
I like beards too, but his was really scratchy. I don't know
Okay.
if he should have shaved or what was going on, but it was like scratching against my face and I did not like that.
Pausing and saying, you should rub oil in that one.
So all of this was going really quick. His tongue is down my throat. We're making out. It's a somewhat, I wouldn't say an aggressive makeout, like in a sense of he was being aggressive with me, but it is an aggressive makeout. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's not that soft and simple.
I have a question which
Please.
just popped into my head, and I'm not sure if it's taking away too much, but did you feel like the makeout was already low-key wet or more wet than usual makeouts? Do you know that feeling? Like extremely wet makeouts? Where it's like a lot of saliva involved?
These are the questions where I hear. No, I actually felt like it was almost a little too dry.
Why? Okay.
Interestingly enough, and no one knows yet where this is heading.
Compensation.
Yeah.
It's foreshadowing.
It's foreshadowing. It's a foreshadow for sure. No, I thought it was remarkably dry, actually.
Okay.
A remarkably dry makeout.
Okay.
Like, I would have said a balanced, normal amount of spit being transferred, if not a little too little spit.
Fair. Okay.
So that would be my spit intake on that.
That's important information.
I have to like rewind real quick.
Yeah.
During, I think, the show, at some point, we did like quickly talk about what we like in bed. I have no idea how we got there.
It's a first date and you cuddle half naked. It comes up, I guess.
I guess it does. So we did talk about that for a second, but we kept it quite superficial, I will say. Anyway, we are making out. Suddenly this man is going down on me. I am just kind of laying there like, do I want this to happen right now? This is kind of nice. I'm kind of overwhelmed. I was trying to like let go because I was on the fence. I will say all of this seems very like, oh my God, extremely unconsensual, whatever. I don't think it necessarily was.
I don't think so either, especially when getting eaten out by a stranger. I think not letting go immediately is normal, especially when you're like unsure if you want sex.
Yeah, I think it was rather that it seems like it because, you know, I didn't even know what I wanted and he was immediately going for it. It was like very fast and furious.
Yeah.
And I think for some people that could sound like very unconsensual.
Sure.
But I wouldn't say it was unconsensual. I think that's a really important like disclaimer at this point.
As long as you're not feeling cornered, that's fine.
Yeah, I did feel, and this is like an issue that I have, I will say, I did feel like I was having trouble speaking up. I don't really want to ruin the mood if I don't even know what's going on. Like, how do you say, stop, I don't want this, if you don't know if you want this or not.
Fair.
In those moments, I do appreciate if it's a little slower and a little bit more of a check-in.
Yeah.
But then again, people are different. I'm not necessarily saying he did anything wrong.
He could have done better for you, but
Yes,
he didn't do anything wrong per se.
yes. I think he could have gone a little slower, but
Yeah.
still. Okay, but we're going to discuss more of that at the end.
Yeah.
So he's going down on me. I'm laying there like, okay, this is nice. Do I want this? Well, this is nice. Do I want this? What the fuck did he just do with his tongue? Oh, that was interesting. But do I want this? I don't know. Next thing I know, he's coming back up. We're making out again. We're like, at one point he was on top of me. Now we're like laying next to each other. And suddenly, this man spits into my mouth.
He was next to you and he spit into your mouth? How?
Like we're making out. We're like laying next to each other.
How am I even supposed to imagine this?
I don't even know how the fuck it happened.
What projectile force does he have in spitting? How the hell did he spit in your mouth next to you? Or did he like transfers a lot of spit with his tongue into your mouth?
No, it was a spit.
It was a spit.
He was actually spitting.
He was
Yes.
through the air.
Calm down. You're screaming into the microphone.
Oh, sorry. It's
Sophie's so invested.
spit is a big topic.
I'm so looking forward to this discussion. But so we are laying next to each other. You know that make out where like you're laying next to each other. We're making out where like bodies are meshing. I guess tongues are meshing or something. And I don't remember it quite correctly. I mean, I'm sorry, I wasn't watching how the fuck he did it because I didn't expect him to do it.
Of course.
But I think that he kind of pulled back ever so slightly and then it like like into my mouth. Like you just spat into my mouth.
Which is impressive aiming, I might say. But still, it was uncalled for.
To say the least. I do want to say, as I said, we did talk about like what we liked in bed. And generally in the direction that we were talking about, I guess you could interpret it in a way that I wanted someone to spit into my mouth, but I will say I never actually said that I wanted that to happen. And we only talked about it superficially. So I do think that was really uncalled for. It really was uncalled for.
It was uncalled for.
I will say. So I freeze. I'm staring at him. He's staring back. I'm like shaking my head and I am just getting up and I'm running into the bathroom to spit it out because okay, here's the thing.
You have to understand I'm already staring at her because I know what's coming and this is the discussion I've been waiting for. That's why she's laughing, but go ahead.
Yeah, but just to give like a quick heads up again, I'm gonna have some TMI descriptions right now. The spit is in my mouth and I can feel that it is not my spit. Like I can feel the boundaries between my spit and his spit, but I can also feel how the spits are starting to like emerge together, but it was like his spit had a different temperature than my spit and I felt deeply uncomfortable knowing that it was like, like going into my spit, that they were becoming one. I didn't want our spits to become one. I just didn't know what to do.
Spit intertwining is too intimate.
And the only thing I knew that I wanted was, I don't want this spit in my mouth. So I did the next thing that I thought was sensible and I ran into the bathroom to spit it out.
Yeah, that is the point where I keep laughing about Julia because I feel like there were other options. I also get that it was in the moment, she didn't think much, she just listened to her feelings and that was her next best thing to do. But,
and you can tell that Sophie has been waiting weeks for this but.
I'm now giving you a list of things that would have been possible instead. Because in my head, the seconds tick by. They are staring at each other. The spit is in her mouth. You have to imagine a clock ticking in the background, like really loud. They're staring at each other. The spit is in her mouth.
There was no clock, by the way. She's just making this up.
You have to imagine because it's important for the like artsy movie style.
Oh, for the drama?
Yeah,
okay.
for the drama.
the drama.
She stands up. The spit is still in her mouth. The seconds tick still by. She's running to the bathroom.
In my thong.
Yeah, in her thong. Seconds still tick by. That's important. You have to imagine the clock. And then she is spitting it out. There was so much
Time
passing where the spit was in her mouth. So here are the things you could have done instead.
Here is a list.
Here's a list. You can rank him if you want.
Oh, good God. Okay, shoot.
I have a good way, a neutral way, and an objectively bad way in my mind.
You really have thought this through, my
Of
God.
course. The objectively bad way, and we can agree on that, I think, is living with it and swallowing the spit, because that would remove it from your mouth too.
Oh, but then it will be in the rest of my body. That's a terrible thought.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said
Ew.
you probably won't
The
like that
ick I
one.
feel. Okay, what's the neutral way?
But like in the sense of not ruining the mood, what you said before, like that would have been a way, I guess.
Yeah. I did consider swallowing it, I will say.
Yeah, you did, right?
I'm not a swallow girl, though. So
Also valid. So the neutral way, for me at least, would be just drooling it down on the bed between us.
drooling also is a wild thing because I feel like
Or like spitting it out violently.
spitting it on the
just-
bed.
Yeah.
But I didn't want my bed to be even more dirty.
Yeah, but like also you wash your sheets anyway after you had sex on them.
Not
so-
always. I only do that if I know that like another guy is coming.
Fair.
Like, but not the same day. That has happened, but I don't mean it that way. This was happening on a Sunday. If I knew that like I had someone coming over on a Tuesday, I would for sure strip the bed
Yeah.
immediately after. But I think at that point, I didn't have anyone else on the radar for the next week, for the upcoming week.
Fair. But considering your usual behavior, that would be my neutral take on the situation.
Just spit on the bed
Just spit on the bed.
and then lay on your spit.
And
well,
my-
in his spit. Well, in both of your spit,
It's
because
sex,
at that point,
it gets messy or
and
whatever.
you know how I don't like them messy.
I don't like messy.
Don't like them. That is one of my biggest issues as well, because I really do like sex, but I hate the body fluids that come with it. Which also explains why I felt so uncomfortable with that spit in my mouth.
Yeah, it totally does. So on my last positive and kind of aggressive take, just spit it back in his face. Maybe even slap it. Just slap it and just whack it a little.
What, like, I'm sorry, how can I imagine this? I spit and then I whack?
Yeah.
Okay, so then my hand also has to touch his spit.
I said maybe.
Oh, okay.
For like the humiliating, punishing kind of take. But you could also just spit it back in his face and that would be enough. And then the spit would be out of your mouth.
And then my spit would also be on his face.
Yeah.
Because at that point it had been emerging.
Yeah.
I don't think emerging is the right word. Mixing?
Yeah. Emerging
It had been
is-
mixing.
Yeah, mixing.
Yeah. Merging. Not
Merging.
emerging. Merging. Learning English with Julia.
So anyway, that would be the third take.
Just spit on him. Spit back.
Just spit back.
Just spit back. Honestly, looking back, I will say I wish I would have done that.
I get that.
I'm also glad I didn't.
That would have been a power move, but also he could have found that hot, and that's also not what you wanted in that situation because
Well-
you were overwhelmed.
Well, and the added uncertainty. This is a man, a strange man, in my home. I'm alone. If I spit in his face, we don't know what's gonna happen.
Fair.
So there is the added safety aspect. I like how it, like, I'm arguing for my safety, even though I had just let a strange man into my house without knowing him beforehand.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're just ignoring that part. We obviously you don't know what could happen, but it is a power move, and but there is the fear that he might actually find it hot.
Yeah, and that wouldn't have been the vibe for you.
No, I just remember being so confused. I was listen.
Listen.
TMI. This entire podcast is TMI.
Yeah, it is. Of
It's not like that was the first time that had ever happened to me.
course.
I've had consensual encounters where that happened, but then it's usually in a position where you are kind of expecting it. Usually it happens when the guy is on top and it's kind of like a thing of, he commands you to open your mouth, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So all of this was not only just like not consensual, it was also not like in the mood that we were in.
I also feel like that's a move that's often discussed beforehand. Like it's something it's easy to put it into words. You can just ask someone, do you like spit? Would you like getting spit on?
Yeah.
Do you like it sloppy? Stuff like that.
I will say the other times that I have encountered it, I don't think that it was a part of the discussion before.
Okay.
But in the way that it happened,
It was expected.
either I asked for it in the moment, which is really getting down dirty into it, or he did it in a way, like I said, he would tell me to open his mouth.
Yeah.
And because there was like I could have just not opened my mouth. It gives you,
That would have been a no.
a non-verbal way
Yeah.
of asking for consent in the moment.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of those times, those were like in a context where you would feel comfortable with that happening. But in this context that we're talking about, it was so out of the blue. I was so overwhelmed. I was so confused. And yeah, that's why I ran to the bathroom. And then I came back and he started apologizing and I started apologizing. I don't know what the fuck I was apologizing for.
That's the least he could do.
I'm like I'm a big person when it comes to like peace, like creating harmony and stuff.
Yeah.
And I for sure, I shouldn't have had apologize in that moment. I just didn't like that I kind of had to ruin the mood. But then again, he put me into a position to ruin the mood. I mean, he ruined the mood. I didn't.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. It was like such an escalation from his point. But I didn't get it in that moment because again, I was not even sure if I wanted to make out, if I wanted anything else to happen. So for that to happen, it was too much.
It was too much.
So we're kind of like both apologizing. He's apologizing more, as he should.
People pleasers amongst themselves. But yeah, as he should.
And then we kind of cuddle for a moment, but it's really weird. And then he kind of just says, he has to go. He has to do whatever.
Yeah.
He gives me a kiss at the end and he's like, I'll text you. And I'm like, cool. And then he leaves and he never texted me again. And he also, I think he unmatched me on the dating app. At least I couldn't find him anymore. But I didn't check immediately after.
Yeah, he was probably embarrassed too by the whole situation.
Yeah, I checked by preparing for this episode.
Yeah.
So way later, and I can't find him. He might have also deleted the dating app. We don't know. Anyway, so okay. On the one hand, I do feel like I could tell by the way he was, by his body language, by the way he was talking about it, by the entire way he seemed. I think he was really in shock that he had did that.
Yeah.
I don't think that this was like your asshole kind of man that just kind of comes in and disrespects women.
No, I don't think it was a deliberate power move.
I really don't think so. I think it was a human that had completely misread the situation.
Just caught up in a moment. Yeah.
In that moment where I then had communicated that, he felt extremely embarrassed that had happened. And I mean, I have had moments like that, not unconsensual moments, but like, moments where you misread the situation.
Yeah, totally.
And then you feel really embarrassed. He did apologize profusely. I think one thing he could have probably done better was like text me afterwards and just be like, yo, again, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, clearing it up.
Whatever. It's not that we needed to meet up again. I'm not saying that we like should have met up again or whatever, but just like a quick
apology again. Just not leaving it at that.
Take responsibility.
Yeah, take responsibility.
That's it. Like just take responsibility.
Yeah. I mean, it probably haunted him too, and he just wanted to forget it. And
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope that it did haunt him. I hope it still haunts him.
It haunts you. If you hear this, get haunted. No,
but now you know why we call him Lama.
That's why we call him Lama, because he's randomly spitting
into people's mouths.
Llamas do it because they feel threatened, but I guess men do it because, I don't think he felt threatened.
Also, I do think that, like, because I did say that it's kind of a funny story, and I will say that obviously the part with him is not that funny, but like one of the reasons why I really liked telling the story and why it was really important for me to actually tell this story in this season was because I thought it was a really good example for the type of shit you encounter when you're in your hoe phase, and then sometimes it just goes wrong, and not everyone like plans to let it go wrong. It just sometimes happens because you're both human.
Yeah.
And then I think the fun part about it is that it's one of those stories that just lives on in the group chat.
I can't let it go.
No one can.
So funny to me. It provides so much visuals for me how Julia is just running with the spit in her mouth in her thong.
It was a sight to be seen. I can tell you that.
See the sight,
no,
but
she didn't.
but
Because you were crashing out.
Yeah, because I was crashing out, but I can imagine so good because I know how Julia gets when she is overstimulated or just
Yeah.
overwhelmed,
Confused.
I know how she gets then, and I can imagine the situation very well, and
It's hilarious.
keeps cracking me up.
We still reference it a lot. Lama is gonna be referenced until the day we die.
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately for him. So really, it is a fun story because of the way your friends pick you up after a bad date and just kind of like crack jokes about the guy.
I remember her FaceTiming us afterwards.
Oh my god, true, I forgot that.
Still in shock. And we're like squeezed together on our phone screen because we were together FaceTiming.
I FaceTime Flo because he has an iPhone, you don't.
Yeah, and we were just as confused as she was because she had a really shitty recollection of the event at the time.
I
It
was so
just
confused.
stuttering into her camera.
Just kind of like, what the fuck just happened?
And we just looked at each other and were like, should we be worried? Should we? But that's every week actually in her whole face. Just us looking at each other. Should we be worried?
Yeah, disclaimer, they always were worried, but I think that's what really makes it a fun story. The way your friends pick you up afterwards.
Yeah.
And again, you know, the chaos in the midst of it all, because sex can be, even with a person that you really know quite well, even then sex can be kind of messy and, you know, communication goes wrong and stuff like that just kind of happens.
Yeah.
It's just a part of it. And I'm glad that I have a thicker skin when it comes to it, that it doesn't like affect me, like it doesn't haunt me. I don't feel massively disrespected or so.
I'm glad for you too.
I can kind of laugh about it later and just say, okay, that was Lama, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Never letting him back. I guess we live and we learn.
Yeah.
Don't know exactly what I learned from it.
I'm grateful for your thick skin too, because I don't know if anyone could actually pick up the pieces if every of those instances would affect you the way that they could.
Yeah, fair. I mean, something that I did learn now looking back, if we're gonna discuss red flags real quick, his and mine. Don't let strangers into your apartment if you're alone, first of all.
Good idea.
We learned that. We listen and we do judge. But the real learning was for me I should have just spoken up sooner. I should have immediately in the moment where I didn't know if I wanted that to happen or not, I should have just said, yo, slow down.
Yeah.
Because I think also I did have a responsibility in it that I didn't take on. And I'm not saying it was my fault that he spit in my mouth. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I am saying that we were going at different tempos and he was trusting me. And I think to a degree that was really okay that he was trusting me to say something.
Yeah.
If I didn't feel comfortable with the tempo.
Yeah. Which isn't something you should be doing with a stranger. I think you shouldn't just trust anybody to speak up. Always check in if you don't know the person.
For sure. Always check in even if you know the person.
Of course.
Check in.
Check in.
But also speak up.
Yeah.
Because you also I don't want to speak for everyone. I just want to speak for myself.
Yeah.
I also do have a responsibility in this for my own welfare. And I should have said something.
Yeah, I get how you both got in this situation.
Yes. It was more his fault.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't think fault is the thing that we're talking about. Not to speak about fault.
He did something wrong, but...
He did something wrong. I could have said something. That's like something that I've been trying to learn ever since, and I've gotten a lot better at it, I will say. Just to kind of like, when something is not going in a tempo that I prefer, like if it's going too quick and I don't even know what the fuck is going on, if I want this to happen, I have learned, or I'm still working on it, to just say something and deal with the uncomfortableness of it. Discomfort. So yeah, what do you think his red flags were, except for spitting in some strange lady's mouth?
I don't know. I don't have him pinned in my head as some major red flag.
Yeah.
I think to me it comes down to the not asking for consent. I'm more comfortable if stuff like that is discussed beforehand, but you already said that you don't need that and you're fine with non-verbal cues like opening your mouth.
Most of the time I would prefer if that is discussed beforehand. I'm just saying I've had situations, where there was more trust,
Yeah,
more experience with each other,
of course.
where that did happen in the moment.
Yeah.
But most of the time, especially if it's a new person, just kind of discuss it beforehand, like in detail. Don't just assume.
Yeah, if you plan on going in right away, if it's your first date, if you just saw each other for the first time, if you can't read each other's body language and stuff, just ask.
Yeah. I also think looking back that he shouldn't have gotten into it as quickly.
Yeah,
I think there was a switch there and there wasn't really a vibe check.
yeah,
That I was for sure missing that, because I also had said beforehand, on the dating app, hey, I'm not saying Netflix and chill. I'm just saying like come over and watch Netflix with me.
yeah.
I had set the expectation, so to immediately go into a makeout and going down on me without doing a vibe check felt weird.
He could have asked. Did you change your mind on the Netflix and chill thing?
I've been noticing we're cuddling, you're in your thong. Am I misinterpreting something? Whatever. You can also do it a lot less direct, but still like good.
Yeah,
He should have definitely done that.
that's always the thing about sex with strangers. I think a lot of people are romancing it and one night stands and whole phases, but it's always mental work and social work.
Yeah.
You can't just dive into it and expect everything to go smoothly.
Also, that's just kind of one of the things in a hoe phase, isn't it? Like if you're sleeping around a lot or you're like encountering a lot of strangers that you don't really know that well. I think that's also why I had such a thick skin at the time.
Yeah.
Is I knew that stuff like this could happen.
Yeah.
I was well aware. If I wasn't in the headspace that day for stuff to go wrong on that kind of level, then I would just go and meet out with someone that I had met up a couple of times before that, not a completely new person. So yeah, that's him. And that is the part of the group chat lore that lives on.
Number 90, or the llama.
I forgot that his number was 90 again.
Yeah, he's got a surprisingly round number.
Oh my god, that's true.
It's funny because Flo and I also have surprisingly round numbers. So it kind of makes sense that he is group chat lore because we are the round numbers.
Yeah, but everyone I'm talking about on this season is group chat lore, and not all of them have round numbers. I mean, just last episode we did talk about him, bro, and I think he's 83.
Of course, but it's like
terrible number.
A nice connection or a nice tie.
Fair. It's a nice tie. I feel like the next episode, I feel like he should have had a round number, but also I did like his. Next episode is number 69.
Right. That's funny too.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so excited to talk about him. Honestly, I'm so excited. Okay, but anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Just to finish it up, round it up. As always, the little segment, Kiss, Marry, Kill. We're not trying to marry anyone. We're not trying to kiss anyone unconsensually. We're not trying to kill anyone. This is just, like an over-exaggerated way to kind of finish up the episode, to just be like, okay, this is the note that I feel left on regarding the guy that we talked about.
I wanted to scream something in the mic, but I forgot.
I'm glad you didn't. Before actually going into this podcast, when we were doing a mic test ages ago, I actually had to tell Sophie, no, you can't scream into the microphone. People will be listening to this.
I'm a really problematic person to have on a podcast, as you.
Yeah, but also a really fun one.
Yeah.
This is so much fun, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, Kiss, Marry, Kill. Kill
it.
Kill him. But not kill him. We're not killing him, and we have no intentions of killing him.
We don't kill anybody, but
no intentions of killing anyone.
No
plans, no nothing.
But also kill him.
Just saying, I would not meet up with this man again.
Which is better this way.
There is a slight pull.
Hell nah.
To kiss. My end thing is still kill though.
The incredibly dry makeout makes you want to go back.
I didn't say incredibly dry. I said normal amount of spit, if anything a little too little spit. I didn't say incredibly dry.
You get now why we discussed that beforehand, or why that was my question maybe.
Yeah. No, but I don't know. I feel like I did feel comfortable with him before all of that happened. I did feel like he could be a cool guy. I feel like if I were to meet him somewhere, randomly, I don't know, at a club or so,
yeah,
I would talk to him. Depending on the energy, I would maybe give him a second chance. But this is not a situation where I would if I still had his number, I wouldn't hit him up.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That is for sure.
On that note, it is a kill. We're not killing anyone.
Yeah.
but it's a kill. Sophie's so annoyed by me trying to be politically correct.
I'm not, but like it's obvious you shouldn't kill anybody.
I still feel like this is gonna be recorded on the internet. I'm gonna make sure that everyone knows what I mean.
Maybe it's taken out of context, and then you can prove it with your recording.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, that was my side of the story regarding Llama, and of course Sophie's thoughts on what I should have done with the spit. Thank you so much for listening to this Yap session. This is a real passion project of mine, and I'm happy when people enjoy it. If you have any thoughts or concerns, feel free to leave a comment or slide into my DMs. Hit follow so you don't miss out on any further stories. If you have any take, by the way, on what you would have done with the spit or what I should have done with the spit, feel free to let us know, because I think we would like to keep this discussion going.
Obviously.
In 2 weeks, Flo is back to discuss a more positive story for once, so make sure you tune in for that one. And until then, go kiss someone, consensually of course, and report back with the details. Ta-ta for now.
Bye.